Hello and welcome guys, Leon Street here, and we're back again. In this video, I'm talking about how to convert more sales for coaches at $10,000 to $15,000 per month. And if you haven't noticed already, I just want to give you guys a warning. Today, I've been sharing a brand new worksheet that I put together. It's a worksheet that I usually offer as part of the training that I give to my group coaching clients. And I'm offering the worksheet completely free. And the worksheet covers how to construct, how to put together the right script to close more sales. And actually, I'll give you the walkthrough within the worksheet of the actual scripts that I use. And therefore, you can construct yours, create your own sales script around mine. So if you'd like to get a copy of that worksheet, just simply comment below this video with the word SQS, right? SQS, Sierra, Quebec, Sierra. Right, so let me get into this. I want to give you some insights into how you can close more sales. And, you know, it's that period of year where I guess for many reasons, and probably the biggest reason, it's Christmas. And a lot of people's attention now switches from, you know, business, making decisions to actually I've got to buy some presents, or I'm late with my presents and I need to get some presents now. And I'm talking mainly if you're in the Western world, right? A lot of people are going to be celebrating the Christmas and holiday season. And so it's no greater time for you in business to close out those remaining sales. Just because it's Christmas season doesn't mean that you can't close sales before the 31st of January. I've done it before. And I want to share with you that actually it's still time, you know, there's still plenty of time for you to really, you know, make a difference to your income this side of 2022. So I guess one of the key things that I want to start with is, if you look at this, social media is for starting conversations. Yeah. And what I want to kick off is with, if you're attracting enough leads and conversations in your inbox and DMs, and I'm talking about permission-based leads, not you just cold, you know, pushing your offers and stuff. But if you're attracting enough leads, usually from your content, that's where most of the leads are going to come from. Then the next action that you're going to have is converting those prospects in your DMs and inboxes. And I'm talking about if you're marketing on LinkedIn, Facebook, if you're marketing on Instagram, even on Clubhouse and TikTok, they've all got inboxes, right? The method that I'm talking about is where you go from those inboxes to sales calls. So if you're a coach or online business owner or consultant or expert who usually sells by phone because you have a high ticket offer, this is for you, what I'm talking about today. So, however, the challenge is, how do you turn those prospect conversations into clients during a sales call? And that's what I'm going to touch on right now. We're going to dive into the key steps that you need to consider. And before I do that, I just want to kind of emphasize, well, what's the problem really? Well, the problem is most coaches and consultants wing it. They've got no script, or they've got some type of script, and they often get caught between wanting to add value and actually end up coaching the prospects on the call, or not presenting their offer in the right way. And so you probably experienced it. I've been there, and, you know, I'm speaking from experience. I'm not speaking from, oh, I heard this. Like, we've all been there. And until you crack the code and get beyond the 10 to 15K a month, you know, it becomes a bit of a challenge. And sometimes it becomes a challenge that lasts too long. Feels like your wheels are spinning in mud and you're actually going nowhere fast. So this is a big mistake, but I understand how it happens. You know, you're doing what you know up until that point, and to graduate and ascend to the next level, go beyond your kind of 10 to 15Ks per month, you've got to learn a different approach. You've got to learn something new. So the SQS structure, I just want to give you a quick overview of the SQS structure, and then I'm going to share with you how you can also not only get the worksheet that I promised at the beginning of this video, but also the walkthrough video, which I will be releasing tomorrow, the SQS. So I'll tell you what that is all about in a moment. So first, you've got to create conversations that include the right questions to produce sales. And in a nutshell, that's what sales is all about. Sales is two people walking a path of mutual agreement. And if you've got the right questions, those questions should lead the right prospects to a sale. Yeah, you selling, right? And if you're a coach, you're probably going to sell either like a one-on-one coaching program, a group coaching program, maybe an online course, but most of the time, the clients that I'm working with, they're selling group coaching or one-on-one coaching, but most of the time it's group coaching. So here are the things that you need to think about with your script. And remember, if you do want a copy of my script, the actual worksheet, so you can start to construct yours, just comment below this video with the word or with the letters SQS. So Sierra, Quebec, Sierra, SQS. It stands for Super Qualifier Script, which is the name that I've given it and the name that my clients know it as. So the first step in any sales script, and in particular the one that I'm speaking about right now, is you appear. Yeah, and you appear in the sense of you're showing up on the call. So it's kind of like the welcome, right? And the welcome is, you're setting the scene. And what I often find is that in setting the scene, I find a lot of people, they set the scene in the wrong way, and especially coaches, quite often they can underplay the importance of what's about to happen on this sales call, or not underplay it, but get nervous. And I understand it. Sales, it can be difficult. I've spoken to people who are at 10 to 15k before they were clients, of course, and they hate selling. And it kind of blows my mind, but because if a person's already selling at 10 to 15k a month, like, you're already doing something right. And in my world, it's kind of like, well, all we've got to do is get beyond the limitations that you're putting on yourself. And quite often that's all it is. It's limitations. And the key is, how do we get beyond those limitations? So at that point, you're like I say, starting the sales call with the right frame. So I'm going to kick off with where I want to go. And so, as I said, there is a worksheet. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to jump into the worksheet. So I'm going to go straight into the worksheet. So just give me a second, guys. I'm going to close this. I'm going to close that there. And I'm going to jump into, so this is the worksheet that I'm talking about. So I'm just going to give you the whistle stop tour. Tomorrow, I will be releasing the full breakdown of this worksheet. But here's how your script should be structured and the kind of things you should be having. So imagine you've gone from social media, somebody's in your DMs and the book to call. They want to speak to you about your group coaching or one-on-one program or your consulting service, whichever it is. So the first thing is that you've got to have the welcome. So the conversation starts, you set the scene. So it's usually, hey, and so if we just use role play for the moment, I'm going to use my own, I'll use an example customer. So I'm just going to pick Peter. Hey, Peter, it's Leon here. I've got you booked in my calendar for a quick call. Is that right? Yeah. And then you're going to move into, my job today is really simple. And then you're going to pre-frame what you're going to do. Basically, I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions to find out if what I have is a good fit for you. And if it is, then we can proceed further with, me explaining more about the programs that I run. And then you're going to move into step 2, which is why now. When you move into that, you're going to move into finding out what are their motives, why do they want to act now. Step 3 of connecting with your prospect is why me. And this one is a really big one, actually, because I find a lot of people, they skip this one altogether. They don't ask people why people are interested in them. They assume, and that's a big mistake, guys. One of the biggest things you can do for yourself and setting up the sale properly is to find out why they like you, why they're interested in you. So once you've gone through the connect, you're going to move into qualify. And qualify is, as it says, you've got to ask a bunch of questions that qualify people. Now, as I said, there's a proviso here. You're going from social media to a booked call. And the key thing for me is, you've got to make assumptions that the person is giving you their time to speak to you because they're fully interested. And you probably should have gathered that when you asked why you. Now, the next step is, in the qualifying stage, you're going to go deeper on your questioning. And there's one thing I just want to add to this. And like I said, if you're not too confident around selling, you've got to understand that the questions are okay because the person's booked into your time. They're booked in to speak to you. And usually they're booked through your booking calendar, right? So you're going to ask them about their current situation. That's going to be key because you need to understand where they are, either in their business, either in their life, depending on what kind of coach you are, business coach, life coach, transformation, performance, whatever it is. You got to ask them about the thing that you eventually want to help them to fix. Then you're going to move to the gap. Where are they at right now? Where do they want to be? Then you're going to move to the need. What are their current problems? And again, the qualifying is important because this is going to lead to the next stage. After you finish the qualifying, which we've got here, the final step, which is qualified, we'll get to in a moment. So this is why it's important. You must qualify, guys. You can't attempt to present your offer to an unqualified prospect because you'll end up wasting both of your time. right? So the next thing is action. Is this something they're looking to do sooner or later? Yeah. Then you're going to check in with them. You're going to use your active listening. And so what I mean by that is throughout the conversation, they will have been responding, answering your questions. And as they answer, a good rule of thumb is to take notes. You can take notes on a notepad. You don't have to worry. You tell people at the beginning of the call, I'll be taking notes. If you type your notes up on your laptop or whatever, if you're doing like a Zoom call and you're not on the phone, you can tell them I'll be taking notes. But the key here with your active listening is to take notes. Yeah. And anybody who's good at sales, they will take notes. Eventually you'll probably get to the point where you may not have to take as many notes because you'll start to become familiar with what most people go through, and you'll kind of pick up on what their key problems are and the other bits, the nuances of how they respond to you. But anyway, you're going to check in and say, so let me get this right. This is what you're going through. Here's where you're at, blah, 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 blah. You're paraphrasing all the responses they've given you up until now. And there's two reasons why you do this. One, you're going to make sure they're a good fit for you, because perhaps they're not. Maybe you've got responses, but actually you don't like the sound of this person. You don't like where they're at in their life or what they're going through in their business or whatever the thing is that they haven't qualified in. And at that point, you're going to make a decision as to whether they're a fit or not a fit. And you're going to be able to then switch between two closing parts of your script. Yep. And so the closing part is basically you're either going to end it with the person who's not a fit, or if the person is a fit, you're going to move them to the next stage. Now, let's assume you move a person to the next stage and you're going to go into convert. And convert is all about your offer. So the next step is basically, the good news is I can help you. The problems you have are the kind of problems that I can fix. And then you're going to move into present, where you present your offer. Now, I've got two parts here. Now, if you've done this right and you've got your prospects from social media and you've been speaking to them already, and what I would advise you to do is qualify in your inbox or DMs beforehand, before you even get a person on the phone. So there has to be some qualifying. If you missed it already, last week I released one of my other scripts, my other worksheets. It's called the Confirm by Chat script, and it's how you how you convert more leads into prospects in your DMs, in your inbox. And if you do want that, just comment below this video with the letters CBC, stands for Confirm by Chat. And the point I want to get to is, if you've got a good DM script, the way you speak to people in DMs, and if you've got a reliable one, what you'll usually do, if you do this right, is present your offer before you get to a sales call. So this is just a little caveat. So if you don't follow this step and you don't present your offer before a person gets to a sales call, then this is the point in the sales call. So you don't present before in the chat, before the sales call. So at this point, whilst you are actually on the sales call, is where you present, because the person will have then given you confirmation that, yes, you've got the problem check-in right. You've checked in and they agree. You understand them firmly. And so you're simply going to transition to, so would you like me to show you how I can help? And that's it. Now you present whatever your offer is. Some people have it pre-prepared. Some people just give you the audio version, just talk you through what it is that they have. Both of them work, as long as you've got a solid offer that shows clearly the benefits of how a person is going to get, the outcome that they're looking for. And at that point, you're then going to move to the close. Once you've finished your presentation, you've checked in with them. And when you move to the close, it's going to be either objections that you're handling, or the person's going to say, yep, that's a great fit for me. And it should be, because you would have already diagnosed that as you've gone through your sales script, where you qualify them and you're like, yep, those answers sound like the kind of person that I can help. And then you move to close. So as I mentioned, guys, I'm going to be doing the full walkthrough of this worksheet, and it will be available tomorrow. So what I'm going to do is just switch back to the other presentation. I just want to give you some examples, guys, of how well what I've just taken you through works. So you can see on the screen, this is one of my clients here. So off the back of the social media templates that I give to my clients, we have about 18, generated 50 leads in 2 days. And off the back of the 50 leads, here's the cool thing. My client was able to turn that into a sponsorship deal, that he attracted somebody who saw his social media posts and then turned it into £18,000, around about $24,000, $25,000. Here's another client using the same sales script, as you can probably just see, I think, on the edge of the screen, $13,000 day using the same script, guys. And here's another client just here, £10,000 in under 30 days, around about $12,000, $13,000. And again, just using the same script. Here's another client, started off with a £3,000 deal. It's around about $4,500, $5,000. And then in, as you can see there, 4 to 5 months, he did £100,000. That's $130,000. All using the scripts that you have just seen me take you through, the structure right there. Here's one of my other clients, more recent success. And she did £15,300, which is $21,000 in a month. And so the scripts that I've just shared with you, the structure, remember, if you want the worksheet so that you can work out and map out your own sales script, just comment below this video with the letters SQS. It stands for Super Qualified Script. That's the name of the script that I have. Here's one of my other clients, marketing agency owner, used it, closed £116,000 in 2.5 months. And here's another client. She did $24,000 in a month, selling 15 places onto a group coaching program and sold 3 one-on-one coaching programs as well. And so again, guys, this stuff works. If you want the free worksheet, just comment SQS below this. If you like to close more sales consistently, confidently, just comment SQS below this and I'll send you details on how. And usually what will happen is I'll comment just to reply to you to let you know that I've received your comment, and I'll send you a quick inbox message with a link so that you can get the free worksheet. So I guess on that note, guys, if you got any questions, just comment below this video. I'll come back to your questions a bit later on, especially for those of you who are watching live or those of you watching on the replay. And yeah, keep selling, guys. You know, far too often I see people who they're low in confidence, and I understand that. Until you get, you know, your kind of flow, it can be difficult and it can be hit and miss. And so having a really powerful script allows you to build up your natural selling skills. I say natural, most skills around sales are learned. You know, not everybody's a natural salesperson. Probably Wolf of Wall Street, but I'm sure he learned at some point. But anyway, the point I want to get to, guys, if you want to increase your sales as a coach or consultant, just comment SQS below this video. I'll send you a free link to get the worksheet of what I give to my clients. And on that note, guys, I just want to say thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed it, do remember, go subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just head on over to leonstreet.com/YouTube and you'll be redirected to the YouTube channel where you can subscribe. I appreciate you. Thank you very much for watching. Enjoy your morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. Take care. Bye-bye.